Hey guys, welcome back to Loop Dev for another tutorial on HTML5 for beginners. If you're new and haven't watched the first 3 parts of this series, I highly recommend that you do that and then continue with part 4. Today we will be learning about HTML list elements. We will look at what are list elements, what are different types of list elements, and how we can use them to best optimize the content in our website. Let's face it, we all have been using lists in our day-to-day lives, whether it be a to-do list, a navigation list in a website, or a wish list. In HTML, we are using lists a lot. We have got 3 different types of lists: unordered list, ordered list, and description list. Let's talk about an ordered list. In HTML, an ordered list is the most common type of list. It is used to group collection of items in a non-numerical order, which means the order does not matter for each of the items. Each of the items in this list is preceded with a bullet. That bullet can be in the form of a dot, a circle, or a square. We can change how the bullets look like with CSS. And there is a property that sets the format for that bullet, and that is called list style type property. Remember, list can be nested as deep as required to achieve a certain outcome. To the right side, we can see the basic syntax for the unordered list. UL element of HTML defines unordered list. Within UL element, we have got LI element, which is basically defining the items for that list. With that being said, let's look at how we can implement an unordered list in a web page. So here we have got an example of list of ingredients. Now we all know that when we are listing ingredients for a recipe, we do not have to worry about, or we do not care about, the order each of the ingredients appear. Therefore, it is best to use an unordered list. We also said that by default, each of the items will be preceded with a dot bullet. We can change it to a circle or a square using CSS. So to make life easier, we are going to be using the style attribute. Now do not worry about what is attribute, why we use it, how we use it, because I'll be covering that in a later video. But for the sake of this tutorial, only understand that a style attribute allows us to write inline CSS code for a specific element. Here we are using the list style type property of CSS to change the type or the format of the bullet. Once I save this, we can see that to the right side, the dot has changed to a square. We can also change that to a circle, and we can see to the right side in our browser that automatically the change is reflected and we have got a circle instead of a square. Now that we know how unordered list works and how we can use them and where we can use them, let's look at how we can use ordered list in HTML. In HTML, ordered list is used to group collection of items in a numerical order, meaning that we use them when we obviously care about the order each of the items appear. The items within the ordered list are preceded with a number or a letter. Now, because we have got 2 different choices, therefore we can use the type attribute for the ordered list element to determine whether we want the items to be preceded with a number or with a letter. To the right side, we can see the basic syntax of ordered list. Ordered list in HTML is defined with OL element. Within the OL element, again, we have got LI element, which is basically used to define items for this list. With that being said, let's look at how we can implement it and where we can implement ordered list. In this example, we are trying to list the steps to cook a meal. Now, obviously, when we are talking about following a certain step, then we do care about the order each of the items appear. Therefore, it is best to use an ordered list. We also say that each of the items within the ordered list are preceded with a number or a letter, and by default, it is a number. Now, we can change it to be a letter. How we can do that? We say that we can use the type attribute to achieve this. So here with the OL element, I specify a type attribute and I say this should be Roman numerals. When I hit save, we can see to the right side that now instead of numbers, instead of English numbers, we have got Roman numerals. We can also have it as letters. Now we see that automatically now we have got, instead of Roman numerals, we have got A, B, and so on. Now that we know how ordered list works, how we can define it, and where we can use them, let's finally look at description lists. In HTML, description list is used to represent a list of terms and their definitions in a key value format. They are commonly used to implement glossary or display metadata such as a person's identity information. To the right side, we can see the basic syntax of description list. Description list is defined with DL elements. The term that we want to define within the description list is defined with the DT element. The DD element is used to provide or to define the definition for the term in context. With that being said, let's look at how we can implement description list in our web page. We mentioned that we can use description list to convey information about a person's identity information, or otherwise known as a metadata. Here to the right side, we can see that automatically we have got metadata in a key value format. We have got name, which is basically a key, and Adam, which is the actual name of the person, which is a value for name. Same thing, we have got last name, which is Rush, and we have got birthplace, which is Italy. We also mentioned that we can use description list to create glossary. Here in this example, we are trying to explain what is HTML. So our key term is HTML, and this is the definition for HTML. Now, just because the contents of this list are displayed in an indented format, it should not be used merely for the purpose of indentation. For that, we can use the pre element of HTML, which we will learn later on in the course. So that's it for today's tutorial, guys. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, like the video and consider subscribing to Loop Dev channel to get more contents like this. As always, if you have got any questions, leave it out in the comment section down below and I will get back to you guys before the next tutorial. Thank you so much.